Guys, it looks like Bitcoin right now is preparing for a massive bounce. Multiple charts are saying that, and in today's video we are going to have a look at the Bitcoin chart. As you can see right here, we are going to have a look at the stablecoin dominance chart, which is looking very interesting as well. But I also want to have a look with you guys at the S&P 500, because the S&P 500 might not be looking all too bullish right now. So guys, let's jump straight into it. And guys, I want to start off, of course, with Bitcoin. Just do it on the 4-hour time frame. And I personally think that everything in the shorter term time frame looks like it wants to bounce. I've been saying this already for a couple of days, and so far Bitcoin is holding this low. We had this bullish divergence, which we also have been expecting. We've been expecting, right, this to make another dip, make the body of the candle a little bit lower than this one right here, creating a lower low, while we are seeing all the opposite things happening in the momentum indicator. So the relative strength index is coming up, the wave trend indicator is coming up, we can see the momentum right here is coming up as well. So we are not there yet in time, right, but we do get there sooner or later. And I think right now, between right now and Thursday, we are going to see definitely some firework to the upside, a bounce in Bitcoin. We can also see that the sentiment was very bearish, although I do want to be slightly careful, because like I said, we are entering the last part of the 60-day cycle. That is normally a time period where you want to be a little bit careful. So if we, for example, early in the 60-day cycle see nice long opportunities, it is a higher conviction play, because we are early in the 60-day cycle anyway. The chances that we go up in the first 30 days of that 60-day cycle is higher than the chances that we go up in the last 30 days of the 60-day cycle. And this almost looks like something else, but you get my point, guys. So still, I do think that Bitcoin is going to bounce right here. We can see it on Will Portal too. The funding rates have been decreasing. The premium index, as far as I know, is negative. As you can see, yes, it's negative. We can see the take-up by sell ratio curving a little bit, not yet over the blue line, but that still can come in the next hours or days. We can see the volume momentum right here slowly coming up. So we still have some time, right? This could go a little bit sideways before we are seeing the bounce, but I think Bitcoin is actually looking pretty good. And if we look at the stablecoin dominance, guys, then it also looks pretty good, because the stablecoin dominance right now is still not able to break above the resistance right here. And if I bring out the momentum indicators, then we can actually see that maybe in a shorter term time frame we do get some lower highs on the relative strength index, lower high on the wave trend, which means that we could get a small retracement right here. But that doesn't tell us anything. That doesn't tell us whether this will make new lows or whether this will be a higher low and then try another attempt of breaking out, right? So that is also the difference in Bitcoin, because if this will make new lows, Bitcoin will make new highs. And if this will be a higher low, then Bitcoin will bounce, but it won't reach the previous high, right? It will turn around afterwards. So right now we don't really know yet which one of the two is going to happen. We can put all of the signs together, 60-day cycle, derivatives exchange data, and so on. But I would like to see a little bit further in time. I would like to see this in a couple of days, see how the bounce of Bitcoin is going to react, because I think the chances of a bounce is pretty high, but the chances of that bounce surpassing the previous high of 48k are actually more slim. Nevertheless, is still possible, right? But then there's also the question, if we can break above 48k, how sustainable will that breakout be? I think it's less sustainable if that were to happen. Big if, guys, because when this one comes down and we surpass this low was when Bitcoin was going to 48k. Maybe we touch the support right here. That will be a Bitcoin 50k, and then we are still at massive support. So I definitely think that for the next months, Bitcoin is in for a correction. But shorter term time frame, guys, today, tomorrow, this week, like we've been saying already in a couple of videos, we could see a bounce. And if you want to take advantage of the volatility in the crypto markets, you can do that over on the PrimeXBT exchange. PrimeXBT just launched a new section on their website where you can trade a lot of different cryptocurrency trading pairs, and you can do that with an isolated or with a cross margin similar as to other exchanges like Binance or Bybit. And this is pretty new, so yeah guys, if you want to test this out over on PrimeXBT, do that with the affiliate link down below, as the affiliate link down below will give you a 7% deposit bonus and a 25% discount on your fees. Then guys, I want to bring you all to the regular financial markets, but before we are doing that, you have to smash up the like button if you like these videos, and make sure that you subscribe guys, because we almost hit the 20,000 milestone subscribers and we want to reach that as soon as possible, and that's only possible with your subscription. So guys, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon. And I just want to bring out the S&P 500 because this one is just looking super interesting, and I have the feeling that no one is actually looking at the S&P 500. But what we can see right here is on the daily time frame, it's starting to look a little bit sketchy, right? We get a higher high in the price, lower high in the momentum, lower high in the relative strength index, lower high in the wave trend. So it looks like it's possible this one can roll over. And what we also see, guys, is that the worst months for regular financial markets generally tends to be January, February, June, August, and September. So, yeah, probably early the year is often a seasonal correction. The beginning of the summer, spring, we can see a rally. Then late summer, we often see a decline again. And then from October, November, December is actually often is the last year rally. That's something that we often see. But August and September are well known to be very, very bearish months. But as you can see right there, January and February also generally not tend to be the best month, and we are right now in January. I still think that the regular financial markets and Bitcoin are lining up pretty good together, and that makes also complete sense. Guys, we have seen a very long rally in the Bitcoin price, right? We have seen a very long rally, and if you would look at this rally for the next coming months, it would definitely make more sense to do something like this. You know, maybe have a bounce and then have a multi-month correction from this move, than to just go on like this. And if we do go on like this, it is possible, less likely a scenario if you ask me. But then we probably, with a high conviction in my opinion, are on a 16-year cycle, which means that will be very shortly lived, will top in 2024, and we will see the bottom in 2026. So that means a multi-year long bear market instead of a multi-month long bear market. So this is a multi-month downtrend, which hopefully we can set a higher low and then continue this uptrend as a regular 4-year cycle. If we do something like this, then I'm very scared and very convinced that we're going to see a multi-year long bear market, because that's something that we've also seen with the internet. And sometimes I get comments, yeah, you cannot compare Bitcoin to the internet, blah blah blah. I'm sorry guys, I can. Internet was revolutionary. Imagine, I don't know how, like the age of you guys, everyone, right? But when I got born, I was 10 years old. The internet suddenly got this integration in the world. We used our phone line to connect to the internet. It was still very early, but from when I turned 10 and got older, YouTube came, and our whole life I started to change from a regular phone where you can play Snake on, where there's no internet, to phones where you can have MP3 players. So this technology of the internet has had a super big influence on the generation for me, and probably also for you if you can remember, right? But there have been also times, for example, after the year 2000, where the adoption of the internet basically just started. Everyone was starting to use it, became mainstream, but the markets all went down, right? So the markets are not rational. So if you come with me with comments, yeah, Bitcoin is different, everyone will use it, adopt it, and so on. Yes, I understand that thought, and you're right, that is possible. Everyone will use it, it will become mainstream, but it's still possible with that scenario that the market's going to tank. So the markets are not rational. The markets don't do what everyone expects. The markets are not rational. That's very important to realize. So let's go back to the S&P 500. And the thing that concerns me a little bit, if you just look at the structure, let's say we will get a seasonal correction in the next coming months. We don't have to have it, but let's say we get it, and the chart goes a little bit like this. If the S&P 500 takes a correction right here, the chart looks pretty ugly, if you ask me, because that means we just passed the previous all-time or the previous high right here, and we couldn't get a sustainable break above the previous high. We get a fake out. So that is just, or we didn't even completely break the high. Yeah, so that is just something that looks a little bit ugly. So what I want to see in the S&P 500 is actually a break above these white lines, retest where it holds these white lines, and then once we can bounce from these levels, I think we can go on maybe a blow off top rally, massive rally in the regular financial markets. But as long as we don't do that, this is actually pretty dangerous, because if we look, for example, at Bitcoin, at the BLX chart, this is a good example. I always say that in my previous video as well, like touching the previous all-time high or surpass it and then lose it again is very bearish. So we have had here the same thing. We have a high right here in Bitcoin, we come down, we come back up, we have a new high. We didn't see that with the regular financial markets, right? But then the moment we roll over, this could result in a double top. Doesn't have to be. Maybe we set a higher low and then we try another time. Right here, we have kind of like a cup and handle formation, possible. But then I would like to see this. I would like to see that break, that test, and that hold. And if we cannot see that, I don't see the strength, and I don't see a nice risk to reward, and I just see a lot of dangers, because we just also flipped from that narrative that money is not being printed into suddenly all the markets go up. Guys, nothing changed. The money supply right here is not going up. Right, it's still coming down, like nothing has changed yet. So that the narrative has changed, but the situation economically has not changed. So that is quite dangerous, because you always have to think about what will the next narrative be, and you have to position yourself for the next narrative. Same with Bitcoin. The ETF narrative, you can profit from that very early. Okay, the moment you know that it's a possibility as a narrative, yes, position yourself, because then it will be the narrative. Same with AI and other things. But we had the whole year of 2022, we had the narrative, oh yeah, recession, the money will not be printed anymore, there's no quantitative easing, so everything goes down. Okay, that's the narrative, right? Is that really true? Who knows? But now everything goes up, but that nothing has changed from that narrative from 2022. There is no new money in the markets. Nothing has changed. Let's say it like that. Nothing has changed, but the markets go up. So how do you call that? Yeah, no, it's because of the Bitcoin ETF. Yes, that's the new narrative, but it's a narrative. You got to be very aware of that you don't get caught up in this narrative, that you think like, oh no, because of the BTF, now we're invincible, and now this and this and that. Or now this time is different, and just don't get up in the narrative, because that means you are probably getting too much caught up in the emotional state of the markets, and that is always the slippery slope, the most dangerous position that you can have, because then you get overconfident about certain positions, which then can turn around quite quickly against you. And because you are so overconfident, you're not able mentally to comprehend the other scenario, so you're not able to switch quickly. That's very important. You have to be able to have an opinion on Monday, and then Tuesday you see something, or you get new information from the universe. You should be able to instantly change your complete view of the way you look at things, if the data shows you that that's were to be the case. So yeah, that's just my 5 cents, guys. That also was it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If so, smash up the like button. If you are new, make sure to subscribe, guys. We need to get to 20k as soon as possible, because we are getting there very, very close. And that would be very awesome. Guys, I want to thank you all for watching. I want to wish every single one of you a very beautiful day today. If you haven't seen my other videos about Bybit, check that out, guys. I have made some playlists right here. Check out all of these videos. Drop a thumbs up, of course. Make a comment. Very much appreciated. And I'll see every single one of you in the next video. Bye-bye.